If you're in need of help or you feel suicidal or you just feel down all the time, text this number or call it. I want you to make sure to like and subscribe and enjoy the true story of this video. And also, this is about a true story about my life and what ruined me and broke me apart. So make sure to enjoy this video. This video is also clipped by the stream earlier. Hello everybody. My name is Team High, and as you seen from the community post, I was going to make a true story about my life or what happened back in the past that I actually been thinking about, and I actually been sweating through these past months and days actually. So before we get to it, I wanted y'all to make sure to like and subscribe. Also hit that liking button. Most likely hit the like button, as we might stream tonight. Tonight is today because it's midnight right now, and yeah, you know what I mean. So I won't be talking throughout the rest of this video, but I just wanted to tell you throughout the video what was wrong, why would I have been like this, why have I been acting like this in any certain manner, to the point my family, they don't really know what's wrong with me because I don't know what to say it. And you know, people can sometimes have a disability where you couldn't express the feeling. That's that's one of the reasons what I have that kind of thing where I couldn't express the feeling. And I don't know what it was called. It might appear up on the video somewhere around here where I couldn't express the feeling. But anyways, I don't know where to start. Let's go. So I think I started off. See, back in it never started in elementary school, but it started back in middle school in 6th grade, which I should have learned that this mistake was gonna happen. Being nice to people would never work with any kind of way, and you already see why people just be jerks all the time, because they don't trust you as much as you try to let them know that you're friendly. So that's what basically happened. Back in 6th grade, everything seemed alright. It just never. It was just not a lot of friendly people. It was probably because of the school I am, but either way, the school, whether the school I go to, it's just going to be the same way. Now, back in 6th grade, I played games a lot, but that's not where I started streaming. I never had that thought of streaming around that age, because I didn't even know such thing even exists around the time. And I usually just focus on I used to do sports before I did streaming. I played football a lot, and I usually either played lineman or tight end. So I'm just stalling right now. So let's go ahead and start with the true story. Now, throughout my life, I was not sociable. But I learned it around high school, where I started to start talking around with folk better instead of just being quiet and being nervous and shy. But back in I don't remember the day it was. I think it was around March. I met a dude named Javion who actually was just making fun of me, bullying me back in I think it was in math class, because back in math class, he just keeps staring at me, giving me that look. And I always look out the window, just to get the good view of the outside. So he always bothered me, saying, "What are you looking at?" and all that. I didn't respond back to him. And one day I got pissed off because he was testing my strength. He was just bothering me too much. Got into a fight with him. It both didn't end up in both sides, because I broke his. I think it was part of his back. I had sprained so badly, and he gave me a scar on my face. But after that, I didn't really feel. Now let's get to the part where actually this whole thing started. Right. So back when I was back in 8th grade, I moved to a new house, and I go to this new school. I'm not saying what it's called. we it was really full of unfriendly people. But I one day I met Ms. Johnson, my reading teacher. It's when it all started. Met a dude named Robert who I had to sit right next to. Uh, Cameron Thomas is a different dude. He was strange. He was a new person in school, but we'll talk about him later. Robert, see, he wasn't cool from the start. He was so unfriendly with me. I was so quiet. Now, being quiet, I did learn to me, being quiet really made you a target, in which it did. So back in, it was before my birthday even started. He pranked me in the bathroom by pantsing me in the bathroom, and he did not even just that. He told everybody in the class what they did, and everybody laughed at me in that class. Miss Johnson didn't do a damn thing. She didn't say nothing at all. She was more of a jerk because she was more cool with them kids. She was more like to be around the cool kids than just being around nerdy kids. Every time when I greet her all the time, she never felt friendly around me. So back in Mr. Kane's class, man, I tried to fight my expressions because I had the men code, never snitch. But this one girl named Asia, she snitched on him, and even though she was cool with him, she pulled a 6'9" and snitched on him because I never wanted to tell. I wanted to keep everything to myself. But I know if this kept going on, I knew that it was going to keep haunting me. It was going to keep bullying me. And if I never left Salem High School, a school somewhere, it's a lot of Salem High Schools. So if I never left Salem High School, then I would have actually been tortured for my life, and something would actually happen to me. Way worse than being in the school that I graduated to this very day. So after all that, I cried in Mr. Kane's class. Shout out to that man. That man, he cared for his life because he checks on me every now and then. After when that incident happened, he was like, "You all right, man?" I know I couldn't do anything because I never knew about it and all that. I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right." So after all that, Asia was a girl who I just didn't really know whose side she was on, because she was on Robert's side at first. She used to just yell at me a lot, but she seen me just crying full of tears, unlike another girl named Lauren who also did. They both they asked me what was wrong, and I did not want to tell them what was the matter. I did not want to tell them that he bullied me and pranked me in that bathroom, and I felt traumatized because everybody's seen it. So I didn't want to tell. But Asia knew about it. So she told Mr. Kane what happened by snitching on him. So she reported to the school, and now I felt embarrassed. Till this very day, they think I was a snitch, but they already knew after a couple of months, they found out who actually snitched and never got her for it. So after all that, throughout 9th grade, everything was alright, but they're on that day, everything just started turning bad to like even worse. See, after that incident, I had spring break. Cameron Thomas, who bullied me back in 9th grade, kept torturing me, kept bothering me. Most of the people remember me from 8th grade saying, "You that boy that got pants," and all that. So after spring break, my auntie, who used to buy me games, give me everything I wanted and need, she passed away on that Tuesday before spring break. I found out on a Friday. They didn't want me to feel so sad throughout those days before spring break hit. Before, I was gonna go hang out with my family, my mom and auntie, because they was gonna go somewhere on those days. But I told them that I was going somewhere too. I was going to a funeral on that weekend, which we did, and I was never the same again. I was all quiet. My grandparents was concerned about me mostly because they looked at they always check at me sitting in the back. I just never said anything. I didn't listen to no music. I was just crying on my way back to there, and when we got there, I couldn't stop crying, man. I was with my cousin Evan that day. Uh, my cousin, he's my best friend, my brother. He's been by my side ever since, and to this very day, we still talk. I just like now, ever since that these two categories happened, I never had the urge to live. It even ruined my, like, back in 10th grade, people just kept bullying me because everything I changed. I lost my verge of playing football because I turned wimpy and I couldn't find me a girlfriend. I was at a district situation. I wanted to find me a girlfriend. Now there was a girl, I'm not saying her name. She was so desperate to like she loved me and my best friend Amarius. She was so desperate, not saying her name, really desperate. And so I didn't really like her like that. I just loved her as a friend. So she just kept trying and trying to this very day. And I never just really talked to her as much anymore because I was so creeped out. I just wanted to find someone who I like. Now back in 8th grade, I used to like somebody, but she betrayed me. While I was playing football, I knew a dude named Mark. I took him as, I actually like him because we actually had something in common. We like to talk about the same categories. I talked to this girl named Jalen. She has the same name as me. She was a sweet, beautiful girl. I never talked to her anymore because I couldn't handle talking to her anymore because after what she did, she never apologized. All she did was say hello to me, wave at me, but I never waved back. She betrayed me. I asked her to prom. She said sure, but she went with Mark. She did it in front of my face that day. My dad felt so bad because I couldn't handle myself. I couldn't cry anymore. I felt so down. The depression started the depression started before my auntie passed away, but it never got as worst after on 10th grade, on a verge that I had suicidal thoughts. Now, my family never thought I had the suicidal thoughts, but they always just leave me alone. I know they want to really check on me. I'm not saying that they're bad people, but they just want to leave me in my moods because they don't want to. I know them. They don't want the mood hitting them. They don't want that vibe hitting them. And the only thing that hits me so hard that I really hate the most is jealousy, man. It's just that jealousy runs in my blood. I believe in the zodiac. I'm Scorpio. And jealousy is the worst enemy. It's its weakness. And I hated that shit. Sometimes I always think I was never born on that exact date. But there was some other zodiacs that has weaknesses that I might not like either. But jealousy was something I couldn't fight. I could possibly fight it, but it would just always hit me. There's always people who always fight change. You can't fight change. It's like seeing an evil side like mine. But ever since then, I wanted to count revenge. I wanted revenge for what they tried to do to me. What they did to me. I could never stream like I used to because I was so depressed. Not because there was no people, but because it was just thinking about, it got me thinking about my future. I was concerned. I wanted to quit so hard. I had no help. No one wouldn't want to join my side. No one didn't want to help me try to change my ways of positivity. So I never trust no friends. No friends can be trusted, but except for Morris and Evan. They've been by my side ever since, but well, who am I to tell? Those people at the school that I graduated from, they were mean people. They're not people to be trusted with because all they do is show off their skill. I couldn't play football that day. What happened? When I played football as a lineman, I lost my balance. I lost my balance of power because I was so down all the time. People just never cared. But I cared for myself. But ever since then, I never cared for myself anymore. I just gave up. Anybody just want to give up at the point. I gave up. So I couldn't stream. So I'll just leave y'all with the rest of this video. That's really what happened. I might stream tonight, but I don't know how long it'll take for me. I was so happy when I had a bunch of people watch me back when I was playing Fortnite in season 5 or so. It was a lot. But I messed up because my depression got in my way. And I could have actually had a chance of starting a new future. I just wanted to be like the other YouTubers. Happy, living a good life. I feared that I didn't want to live a bad life. I'm not a good person, people. Don't take me as I am a good person. I may gift it to folks. I may gift to folks and just give it to them. But I'm not going to change. And as I told myself, I'm not dying a good death. I'd rather die with bad honor. I know what I did to my family. Ever since then, on that incident, where I end up now is the only reason why I end up a bad life. I know I was probably destined to be here where I am now, but I miss the family that I used to live with. I messed up. Pretty bad. I didn't know what was the life of a true gamer. But about my life, about my family, what I did, that's for another story. So I just noticed I talked to the whole stream. I talked to the whole video, but I'll leave y'all to it. Thank you. Franklin. We did it, Frank.
Yeah,
You happy, Frank?
you did it.
I did it.
I killed one person.
Oh God, I carried you.